Hi guys, hope you're having a great day so far. This video will be split into 3 parts, which you'll find the timestamps for in the description box below. So first up, we've got an arm superset. This is what we did to finish our shoulder and arm training session. Straight bar curl, push downs and forearms to finish. We did 5 rounds of this. The second part of the video will be my physique, just kind of show you where it is at the moment, about 16 and a half weeks out. And then the third and final part will be the rest of the shoulder and arm session. I'm just going to break that down for you quickly to explain what I'm doing and why. Now, before you start berating me for cheating the reps and using loose form, understand there are many different ways to train, different styles of training. It's not always black and white. You know, this works and this doesn't work. It's more what's trendy and what's not trendy. For me personally, anyway, I enjoy training like this, picking up the tempo, keeping it moving, using a little bit of body language to keep the weight high, and just blasting through a lot of reps, a lot of sets. And you can develop very, very high levels of intensity with this type of training. Now, bear in mind, my arms were a weak part. They were never really that strong. And over the years, they've become a strong part because, in my opinion, I've utilised a lot of these techniques. Not all the time, you know, it's in combination with strict work. But certainly large chunks of it have been high tempo, looser form, work with heavy weights. So a lot of cheat curls, you know, using a bit of body language on the push downs, stuff like that. Now, certain body parts and certain movements lend themselves better to using techniques like this. I wouldn't recommend it for beginners. I would say, you know, you just got to learn the movements in their most basic form. You have to learn your body and how it feels and kind of how it moves. But with experience, you can start to play around with certain movements and understand that, you know, you will still be able to grow muscle if your form isn't perfect. It's not like you're not going to be able to stimulate the muscle. You know, it just makes me laugh sometimes when I see all this kind of obsession with form. For sure, some exercises you're probably not going to get away with it as much. It wouldn't be wise to, you know, use really kind of high tempo, loose form on, say, a bench press. You know, you're going to be bouncing off your rib cage, probably not that optimal. But certain body parts, especially arms, they lend themselves very, very well to kind of that faster tempo, getting into the rhythm where everything just kind of clicks and you feel like you're using a lot of your body to keep that weight moving, but the tension is on the biceps, and that intensity becomes really, really high, and you can really get in tune to that muscle. For me personally, I'm often able to go to a high level of intensity than if I were just to use pure, strict, slow form. And I kind of find that training boring as well, to be honest. So this is my physique. This is kind of where I am at the moment. And yeah, my arm's definitely not a weak body part anymore. And I would say it's mostly down to these techniques. So I'm going to run you through the rest of the session now. Starting off with shoulder press, just one set to failure, going past failure, using negatives to increase that intensity. So my training partner, my client Carl, would help me go past that point of failure. Then some dumbbell front raises for Carl. He's got a bit of a shoulder tweak, so he's not doing any pressing at the moment. Then we move on to the lateral raise machine. And again, just using a spot just to keep that tension going, go past the point of failure. Then we do some trisets to finish off the shoulders, front raises, side raises, and then bent over raises. The bent over raises are with a slightly heavier weight. It's a slightly easier movement, does that make sense? Keeping it moving at all costs, keeping the tension going. It doesn't matter how much pain you're in, or whether it's, you know, the reps are dropping off in terms of the range of motion, just keep it moving. So we move on to arms, and we've got dumbbell curl to start, alternating dumbbell curl again. Prime example of what I was talking about before, slightly looser form, keeping the dumbbells moving, using a spot if necessary. And the pump on the arms is incredible if you ever do a set in this manner. You're still going to be taxing the biceps to a very, very high degree. So working up to about 25k for sets of 10, and then moving on to tricep extensions. Perhaps a little bit stricter on this one. Obviously, it's a tad harder to use that kind of looser form on, but the tempo is still fairly high, bashing through the reps. 3 sets of about 10 to 12 reps on this. So this is probably my favourite tricep machine. Of all of the machines, that's probably number 1 for me. Then preacher curls, and again, just pumping out the reps, keeping it moving, using a spot to push past that point of failure. So just as that rep starts to fail, you start to feel like you're getting stuck on the sticking point, probably about 2/3 of the way up. You're then using the spot or looser form to be able to continue past that point. So the intensity is definitely a lot higher than if you were training on your own with strict form, and stopping at that point, that the form that you're using doesn't allow you to do any further reps. So after the preachers, we move on to dumbbell overhead extensions, double grip, leaning back on a slightly inclined bench. Again, one of my favourite tricep movements, before then finishing up with the arm circuit. So we do 5 rounds on this. The first 2 we just do biceps and triceps, and the last 3 we do biceps, triceps and forearms. And forearms are very important to train, so don't neglect them. Make sure you add them into your workout somewhere, either reverse curls, dumbbell wrist curls, barbell wrist curls, behind the neck wrist curls, behind the back wrist curls, or maybe some kind of grip exercise like this, or wringing out a wet towel, something. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, then let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Stay strong. I'll see you on the next one.